problem. At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Do you know that we owe Ukrainians reparations for building and defending this nation? Oh, my bad. I meant to say Black Americans. Notice how there was not one study, not one hearing needed before sending billions of dollars to Ukrainians nor any other group. Yet, when the topic of reparations for the descendants of American slaves is mentioned, we get told a motley of excuses. And I know some of you want to blame the Republicans, but it is for the Democrats that Black Americans vote 85 to 95%. And the Democrats have been complicit in their neglect of Black Americans as well. Maybe it's time we elect politicians that are actually going to fight for us. Maybe it's time we do something different, something better. Join me in getting us not just better, but the best. Join me in this fight. Thank you.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. And living the true gods, giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords, and they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
Oh, thank you. I don't know why that was off. That man, thank you. Well, again, like I said, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I am your host, Beatzilla PDX officially. Now y'all can hear me. So, what we're talking about today is has the idea of unity produced results? And if so, what results has it produced? So, I have some things to play. But then I might bring some folks up and end this discussion just to see what people's opinions are this evening. It's Friday evening. This won't be necessarily too long of a broadcast. At least I'm not planning to. But depending on how things go, you never know. So, we think that things will turn into under 2 hours and they'll end up being 3.5 hours. So, sometimes it just be like that. So as I said, please, as you're coming in, like and share. If you have not already subscribed to this broadcast platform, you should do so right now by hitting the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Hit the word all. That way you'll be notified every time this channel goes live or a video is uploaded. And you can also become a member of this channel as well. And you'll see that join button. So you see subscribe, join, notification bell, and all of that. And, you will be tapped in as much as YouTube informs you that we're here, like they're supposed to. But we know that sometimes doesn't happen. Also, if you have already been subscribed to this channel, and YouTube has unsubscribed you, having the subscriber mode only on the chat actually does kind of help that issue, because I've noticed before when they start unsubscribing people, that's when they start fooling with your numbers when your chat is open. But I've noticed, I just happen to notice, you go to subscriber only, your numbers ain't doing as much jumping as they were before. But, something that we have to keep an eye on, YouTube. So let's see who we got here in the house tonight. Lawrence Lilly in the house. Welcome, welcome. TJ in the house. Welcome. Aquarius Minded in the house. Black First. Kid Gravity Beyond in the house. What's going on? He will be on this broadcast next week. Let's see. Tia to you in the house. Welcome, welcome. Miss D at Suite 201 in the house. Welcome. Kid Gravity Beyond said, answer, yes and no. It helped shows who's faking and who's real. Very true. Very true. All right. So, yes, indeed. We are rolling. So, I have to agree with that. It definitely shows who is real and who is not. And it speaks to it speaks to a real issue that we have in our community, because I was in a Sister Just Eve space the other day, and in the attempt of trying to facilitate a one of those building spaces where you're just kind of coming together on the unity tip with our agenda and foremost in mind. Right off the rip, you get people coming in with their own agenda. They missed the point that most people said that was relevant and went on their tangents. But family, there are people out there that really perceive themselves in some kind of way. My last broadcast was Wednesday. Somebody that put the information out, I guess, Thursday, somehow figured that I must have took their studying and the work that they've done. And this person has me blocked, by the way, so I can't actually see any of it. But this is what the conversation is out here. It's crazy. Dark-skinned brother in the house, what is going on? And Tate the man in the house, what is going on? So there's a lot of weird, odd jealousy out there that I don't know, I don't understand. But whatever. With that being said, we also have issues that are actually important, mainly reparations and what we're trying to accomplish by getting reparations, and also justice, an anti black hate crime bill being designated as a distinct group and ethnic lineage here tied to this soil. These type of things are the things that we're doing. And as the grassroots movements, I don't think, and boy, I'll be glad. I'll be glad when I don't have to hear that no more. Our grassroots movements have moved the needle, and our grassroots efforts are moving the needle. And just looking at, you get a lot of people that were not in this so-called conscious. I say so-called conscious space because people, there's different words. Because truth be told, the reason why you have to label it so late is because reality is a lot of these black folks that you see now in these Twitter spaces, especially, these weren't the people listening to pro-black material. They were doing everything else other than being involved in pro-black movements. What has happened is pro-black movements have now become popular. You understand? That's the big difference. Pro-black movements have become popular. So now as that takes place, you got the people who Lord knows what they were trying to do, probably trying to be the next drill rapper. Now they're coming over to these spaces, probably still double cupping on lean and popping perks and Xannies and more, and who Lord knows what, and then trying to mesh that into empowerment because they perceive empowerment as what it has appeared to be on the main stage in the last couple of years. Not all the work that has went into getting there to being a visible, very evident presence that the United States and the world is having to take notice to. That takes time to build up. So I hope these people that think that just happened overnight, you really have things confused because it did not. You're looking at generations and decades worth of work between all of these different groups. And I will never, ever, ever look at a person that says, you haven't done anything because I haven't seen it announced on Twitter. I can't take anybody like that seriously. I understand how that catches up new people. But again, for me, I will look at that as and say, okay, well, you guys haven't been around this empowerment thing for too long at all. If that's what you think this is, okay. I mean, I've seen a lot of fly by night thought they were going to be activists back in 2020 here when all of the cameras and all of the focus was on Portland, Oregon. Yeah. They're going back to promoting parties and other kind of stuff because they were never really about that. Truth be told, a lot of money went into smoke screening grassroots individuals, even here on a local level. And not only that, had politicians enlisting uh, these makeshift activists, if you will. Now, here's another thing. For me, I won't endorse recklessly any candidate, whether it's here or abroad. Now, of course, for those who understand why any politician would reach out to me to kind of make some noise for them in a certain space, well, then those of you who know, you know. But for all intents and purposes, even here in my city, there are local politicians, but they have to make a choice if they want to work with me or not, because I'm not compromising on what I'm doing. So if you want this audience, we're not mixing this in with that other thing. And that other thing has way more money to it, has way more backing, but it does not have a foundation. So I would not put myself out there, and I wouldn't put y'all out there to look at a candidate and say, first off, just ask yourself the question, why would a candidate reach out to me to even present them to the Black collective? But that's another conversation because people don't pay attention. But again, if you see things that are happening, it's like, well, yeah, they're going to hit me up. Because I asked, I said, well, are you asking for my personal endorsement or are you looking for new Black media? The response was both. That was the response from local politicians or would be, and people who are in the local scene of politics. Because it's funny, we hear this ignorant saying going around now, mind your own state, which is actually kind of turning into mind your own foot in your own mouth. Because the funniest thing about that is the person who could say mind your own state, their biggest claim to fame while being from the state of Maryland or Virginia, their biggest claim to fame right now is Mason, Tennessee. Not really the same state. However, the phrase, because it was pointed at me, again, somebody that does not have a big following, so you say, that, this whole phrase has became popular. Nobody really understood where it began. Well, also let me help you understand. Within my state, yes, there is a person from my city and from my district who penned and that's Lou Fredericks, who penned the reparations bill here that stalled on the floor. Mind you, there's a whole nother stipulation that it's funny. People talk about, well, there was a hearing for reparations. There wouldn't have been any public hearing on this particular bill here in this state. There was a public hearing. I don't know how reparations got attached to whatever went out. And maybe that was something that happened locally in that particular city. But, what people don't seem to understand about, like, I believe Oregon, I believe is like the fifth largest state in the United States of America. There's only one city in the state with a noticeable population of black folks. That's Portland, Oregon. So when you hear folks like myself, I tell you I'm from Portland. I don't tell you I'm from Oregon. No, I'm from Portland. This city outdates the state. We're from Portland, the city. That's right. So this other individual that lives south of the capital, Salem, which would be in around the Springfield, Eugene area. The only thing down there that is typically going on is University of Oregon sports. The other thing that people tend to go and show up in Springfield for, it might be connected to a more low-key illicit business on the adult industry side of the game. But I don't know what brings people to where. I just know the familiarity of the area. However, I would tell you this. Nothing about that area, if you went to a city council in Springfield, Oregon, that wouldn't be moving the needle about anything because they're not a voice or any large populace for votes in our state. That actually happens in Portland, Oregon. That's why the other rest of the state is complaining that Portland, Oregon controls the politics of the state. And they want to be part of Idaho. But now Idaho has to accept the financial recourse and how that will affect them. It'll drive our property value up and their property value down to poverty level. All because they want to get away from us Negroes in Portland. So when you hear people get out there, mind your state, mind your state, mind your business. Because all you have done is turned yourself into a loudmouth hypocrite. Because you can't tell me that, well, we're going to pull up here, we're going to pull up there. Well, now mind your state. You don't know which way is up. I mean, that's real simple. So, I mean, it is what it is. Oh, Lord. So, hey, So I've heard stories from Portland, a lot of racists out there. Well, there's a lot of racists everywhere. Samuel Logan, an Aboriginal, wait, did I say Aboriginal one? No, I didn't. Black women stand up in the house. Samuel Logan in the house. Yes, indeed. Yeah, there's I mean, hell, there's white. This is Little Dixie. Like I said, this is University of White Supremacy. However, this is one thing that bothers me about mostly like all of these people from all these other places. Growing up here, I don't have the fear of white folks that a lot of people do. Man, you know what they do when they get mad? Man, they come and get us. Yeah, because of that attitude. Where you guys have lost all of your fight if that's what you think, that's where your mind goes. And so it's funny. I heard of this female, she was real proud of herself because she went into city council in Springfield, Oregon, I guess. And it was just a bunch of black people or a bunch of white folks around. Go figure. Knocking it out the park, huh? Now, she doesn't mention what took place. She doesn't mention what came about. She just told everybody that she went there and there was a bunch of white people all around. And I talked about reparations in front of a bunch of white folks that can't move any needles because they're in Springfield, Oregon. I mean, like literally had the story of, so when we're talking about minding our states, just keep this in mind. There's a whole side of the state that wants to separate from Oregon because of Portland's controlling politics of the state. But mind your state. Oh, did you not know that there's a reparations task force? There ain't no damn task force here. I don't even know how that thing got worded there. I mean, and then on this particular day, what's so hilarious, by the way, these people kill me. Okay, the day that this so-called meeting happened, you see the very, very light-skinned woman on the stage that looks like an albino with blonde. Well, she, and you probably can't see right behind my brother right there in the middle, but he's on drums. And actually, I believe all the way over there to the left, I believe Charlie also played. So on that particular day that everybody's talking about mind your state and all of this, they were actually on the legislative floor. Legislate, like, House floor. And so people just ran with it. Mind your state. Mind your state. Family. The day in question, 3 of these individuals on this stage with me were in the room that they weren't talking about reparations about. So I don't know who got, see, they're taking something, but man, this is going on. It didn't happen in the Capitol. What go on in Springfield, Oregon don't move nobody's needle. And so you get a bunch of random people like there's no home. Well, if you are homegrown, the only homegrown black woman in, well, let me just put it to you this way. There ain't no sister worth her salt in Springfield, Oregon. Now, she done told these women that she was a whole damn college student at the University of Oregon. Now, what she sat up there and said yesterday is that she is 26. Who is she, Jaleesa from Different World? She's 26 in college, living in the neighboring city of the actual college. See, these people just, you like someone, you don't like someone, you just start doing whatever and saying whatever. So, this is one of the things in the midst of that space, all of this chitter chatter from this one here, that mind your state and this and that. And now, mind you, the person who actually coined the phrase mind your state that was pointed at me, she didn't mention any of that. It was the other people that came up. The one that's literally in my state. And I'm like, wait a minute. 26 in Springfield. And you just had a baby. I don't know what you telling these people. She telling them, oh, I'm from East Oakland. No, she's from East Springfield. Y'all just be, man, I'm telling you, some people just need to learn how to not poke the bear. Because it's like, damn, just if somebody really seriously looks at you with some sense, you'd be like, wait a minute, what's happening here? But anyway, I'm just, whatever. So with that being said, for the mind your own state individuals that, that sounds so extremely foolish. Let me also say, Blaze, Shalom family, welcome. One who cares in the house. Good evening. I'll see you. Another thing that we have to start figuring out, and because this is something that I don't do, and actually to my awareness, You haven't heard any of the male voices of new black media do this at all. Tell you what you're not doing, and then tell you what we feel you should be doing. Have you heard any of the male voices of new black media do that? And you heard any of us do that? Man, because here's the thing. Everything won't be announced on Front Street. And for those of us who have got so much time in, we know what real effectiveness is. And so, because a lot of people think effectiveness is people hollering your name or people giving you credit. No, let me tell you something. My name don't ring in broke circles. My name is ringing in people that can't even tell the masses that they even know who I am with this little bitty platform. But none, like we say, the little engine it could. So again, if you're looking for your own personal self-recognition, I guess by all means, put your face on a t-shirt and plaster it on the side of a van and drive around like early 2000s, late 90s rappers. But this is a movement of the people for the people. So if you really want to be in this, you got to sit up here and just do the work regardless if you get a recognition or not. Because that's where a lot of people are, man, this man stealing my work. I don't even know you. And on top of that, you got me blocked. Like the delusions that people have out here is amazing. So nonetheless, I guess after they figured out my show or my broadcast actually aired before they figured out whatever they still didn't actually explain, they blocked me. See, this thing here, and this is literally a conversation of uniting under the banner of reparations. That was the religion of reparations. Brother Afro Elite earlier today had the how to come together networking for reparations. See, these things cannot be tied into a personal feeling towards someone. And we have these individuals from this one specific group that even if you have their so-called speakers that because I'm not saying leaders or anything, but from these spaces, the people who are basically the curators of these spaces, you have them speaking on the level of, hey, let's put differences aside for the overall lineage-based agenda, but then here these other individuals come who rock with them, sowing nothing but dissension right behind the positive forward momentum that they were talking. So here, in the midst of trying to have a unifying conversation, here goes the wrecking ball kids. To do what? Undermine everything that this person just said. And they're supposed to be together. No one can hold their tongue. I gotta say something. Let me get on stage. So I know that some people did this and some people did that and dum. Well, let me say this. Last one left. No one stole anything from you. And I sat up there as a grown man and watched you bitch up because you didn't want to confront brother FBA JoJo. Because I have nonstop told y'all I heard about that OMB and a lot of this other information. As a matter of fact, where's that at? This right here, that brother JoJo, brother FBA JoJo got to me. I can't sit up here and say that someone else gave me this information. If you feel some kind of way about the information like this that I got from brother FBA JoJo, then maybe you needed to take it up with brother FBA JoJo and figure out, well, hey, man, why ain't I getting credit? But in the midst of crying and whining and complaining like a biatch, you sit up there and say, well, you know, I mean, I sat up there and found out all of this, and you guys just going up there like it's your information. I mean, and shout out to brother FBA JoJo. I ain't got no problem with you, brother. You bitch nigga. Yeah, you do. Because your problem ain't with me. Because I've said repeatedly that I have gotten this information from brother FBA JoJo. So if you have a problem, brother, don't be no little bitch. Tell him. And I get it. People be, oh man, you know, this is, you just don't, number one, you are a jealous little hoe ass nigga. And that's all you've really ever been. You can't even show your face. So you just show the top of your head because you're a weirdo looking nigga. So this is all you can really do. Now, yeah, I'm going to be petty because the shit is all petty. Mind your state. Man, shut up. That's weird, nigga. He's taking stuff and Tariq the seed. Tariq the seed is stealing from you. Here, hey, last one left. Myself and Tariq Nasheed, all given, Sister Sean included, have given FBA JoJo credit for giving us this information. So if there's some kind of communication, pull up your pants, lace up your boots, and go say something to brother FBA JoJo. Because that's where I got the information from. So stop complaining like somebody pays attention to you, because nobody does. You are irrelevant. And I call you stupid one left. Why would I be looking at you to get anything? Mind you, you so dumb, you actually literally saying that knowing you have me blocked. Do you understand the type of level of miserable, low-life liars we're talking about? Lying for nothing, causing conflict for nothing, right after a positive unity build. So again, I'm going to ask y'all, has the idea of unity produced results? Because see, my thinking is this: go with who really wants to positively move. Leave all the rest behind. I am not a save all type of minded individual at all. At all. I'm not going to be made to be one. Too old for that. So just when you see people doing stuff like that, is that COINTELPRO? Are they just slow and tell pro? What is it? You understand what I'm saying? Is it COINTELPRO or is it slow and tell pro? Or is it a mix of both? At the end of the day, when you're always trying to tie that type of albatross around your neck, how the hell do you expect to be successful unifying with somebody who's always trying to drive you off a cliff? Can y'all can y'all understand where I'm going with this? We keep doing this. In every movement, we're seeing them talk. Dr. Phil's talking about reparations. They're not doing that because of Sheila Jackson Lee, the Congressional Coon Black Do Nothing Caucus. That's us, the grassroots. You and I and all the rest of us making this move. So why on earth, when the world is looking at us and talking about our lineage-based reparations, mind you, why on earth would you be making little, minute, stupid, penny-ante arguments over nothing in the midst of the conversation of unifying under reparations? What the hell is wrong with these people? And so what I'm saying is, can you do anything with that? Because see, for me, if that is gonna be the end result, because everybody wants to do, trust me, I wish y'all would really get off of this. This come to Jesus kumbaya mind state that, man, we all black, man, hey, man, if y'all ain't rocking how I'm rocking, y'all got to skedaddle. Because, hey, we figured something out. And at the end of the day, this is the wave that's making the movement. So why do we need to hear from Joe Nobody talking shit about nothing, not still presenting anything other than complaining about another person? We have ideas of ourselves that they like to put out there that we have to combat. How on earth do you have time to focus on what another individual is doing? More billions of dollars going over there to Ukraine just this week. But I don't like this big silly dude. I don't understand what's going on with him. Are you kidding? My chat disconnected. How'd that happen? Well, that was really weird, huh? Yeah, Dr. Phil has no room to speak on our reparations at all. At all. So, with that being said, then have Sambo Saul speak for us. See, that's the other thing. And they have a lot of these people out here, and so they're doing it on multiple fronts. You got the ones that are like, man, I just don't know, this dude over here. I mean, we really need to be about reparations, but this person here is a problem, and that person there is an issue, and this person, you know what I've learned in my experience that is the best way to address individuals? Not to. Addressing individuals is a circular argument that goes nowhere. Combat the idea and you can slay a whole army. Did somebody just catch that? Please tell me you just caught that. You could slay a whole army if you figure out you need to combat the idea versus the individual. Some of these people try to make that aspect way too hard. Way too hard. It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. But, I think some folks are built for that type of talk. Because that's all they really could do. And again, some of these dudes have some underlining issues that they're not really addressing.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I mean, have y'all ever thought how so many dudes just sit up there and have an obsession with another dude? Rose City in the house. What's going on, brother? What's going on? I mean, have y'all just noticed that? Man, just, think of last year when they was going to Afro Elite. How much man on man obsession have you all witnessed over the past year or two? All this man on man obsession. man, oh man, I seen somebody today. I'm like, I'm just start blocking you dudes. Because truth be told, I'm telling y'all, there's a whole lot of undercover skittles going on around there. But you have to pay attention to the cerebral nature of how some of them dudes is moving. Because they haven't let the people they around know they get down for real. So I mean, they up there, oh yeah, they ain't moving like that. The hell they not. I think more of y'all like your own company than you let on, player. I'm just saying. Rose. oh, oh man. Afro Elite. I mean, because these dudes is absolutely obsessed with this dude. Yeah, man, Zesty Elite. Red flag. Red flag. Because the brother has never done anything like moist like that. This is the thing when you start seeing dudes jumping over to that side. Oh, you telling on yourself, fam. You telling on yourself, fam. You fishing. Woo-wee. Well, thank the Lord for having gay relatives. There's certain shit that I'm like, yeah, wait a minute. Because I mean, having, like I said, having relatives in that bag, boy, you can ask some questions. When you have some questions about, hey, I'm seeing this a lot. Is this something? It's yada yada yada. Ah, okay. Like, I mean, shoot. So that's probably why half of these dudes don't show their faces. Because your relative that's out there like that might know them. Yeah. Shit, you better understand. Shit, you pop that shit if you want to. Ain't nothing but a call away to see if you over there playing. You on the scene over there, player? Somebody that's seen you. They know when you come to town. Tell man, please. See, these people be out here thinking that, like, yeah, you're moving in a circle that no one knows you. But they're people related to somebody. Here people you out there moving around with, they kin to some of these B1 folks over here. Y'all better just keep that in mind when y'all out there doing what you're doing. And then gonna hop in them spaces talking reckless and tough. Don't make nobody pull up on no space and be like, you know what? Hold on, I got my cousin right here on the phone. Don't be acting like that. It's gonna be a rezap. Drama in Twitter Spaces. So again, that documentary that Afro Elite did was a classic. Absolutely it was. Absolutely it was. And I hope that people understand we are in a serious movement. So you're gonna have, like I keep pointing back, that sister that what's that woman's name? I did a broadcast about that chick. That was down with the movement. She was a Martin Luther King detractor. She was down with certain parties. She was trying to set folks up because she was as black and anti-black as they come. So she was a whole agent working to undermine black empowerment. What's the difference when you're having something that is leading towards unity, and then, oh man, how you gonna do this? And oh man, and then like the whole mind your own state. these people are one of those, they're like, what you talking about, Willis people. So you give them a catchphrase, they just gonna run with it. Where'd you get paid? Oh, wait, well, this. And then they started giving definitions. So mind your own state means that you need to be in the reparations task force in your own area. Every state has a reparations task force. Damn it. Oh, Lord. Anyway, we have to, get to the reality that it is not yielding results. And right now, when we're trying to shore up just the inner workings of foundational Black Americans, we have people now having meetings and emergency meetings with the thing in Baltimore. I found out that State on the Black World crap, that is actually something they annually do. So it's something that's reoccurring. You know how I also read through the indictment of the people that they're calling Russian bots. Now, mind you, I don't think anybody had actually mentioned any of this before my last broadcast. So, the Uhuru movement, all of these people that are intertwined with, again, all the stuff that I showed you Wednesday. Boy, the delusions of grandeur out here is amazing. But let's just go back to it. And again, shout out brother FBA JoJo for the information because, yes, we have been able to accomplish quite a lot with the information that FBA JoJo has been able to get to the family. So once again, shout out FBA JoJo for being on top of all of this and making sure that the right information got to the right folks. Shout out FBA JoJo. So, yeah, we just got to put it out there. Now, if you feel that you ain't getting your shine, player, I don't know what to tell you. I just know FBA JoJo. I don't know who you are. I just know you're some clowny trolls. And so much so that once I adopted the name for you, Stupid One Left, because I believe every time you have something to interject in the conversation, it is going to be of zero value. So instead of Last One Left, I call you Stupid One Left. And you did not disappoint. So this is what I'm saying. A person that is of so low capacity of thought and vibration can't understand that now's not the time. Can you unify? See, we have to understand that right there in itself. When you're doing that, that is a level of cooning. Do y'all not realize that? That is a level of samboing. Because they're trying to purposely detour the unified conversation. Number one, because the conversation's elevating and it leaves stupid ones left out. So when you have in situations like this, like dudes have spent their whole last summer worrying about other dudes. Yeah, Afro, get your bitch ass off the stage. Get a mute your mic. Oh, oh, Lord. I mean, the foolishness. You can't deal with everybody, family. And like I said, let's get out of the habit, please, of trying to tell everybody because we don't visibly see them doing stuff on the damn internet. And you know what's so crazy? Everybody, man, this ain't real. It's the internet. This ain't real. It's the internet. Why don't I see what you're doing? It's the internet. Whew. So glad I'm not new to this. So I don't get motivated or bothered by people's wild ideas that just shoot out of their mouth because it sounds good. You're new. I get it. But notice how none of these newbies ever consult with the veterans. It's almost like this is a thing we have in our community that we got bad. We will not consult people who know what they're talking about. We want to consult people who we like. If we're going to do that, can that brand of unity yield results in a positive manner? Yeah, Rose City FBA JoJo bring good information. And I mean, this dude up here literally crying that he ain't getting the recognition. I done did the work in this. If you did, cool. Not like I would know, because I don't see your shit. I see Brother JoJo. And if that brother has sent like members of the Voices of the New Black Media information, again, what you upset over here for? And at the end of the day, what you really doing it for? Because didn't the message get out? But you're upset that you didn't get recognition. I'm going to put receipts in the Jumbotron. And after the space ends, the Jumbotron will go away. However, this broadcast and the last broadcast can go watched as many times as the family needs. Yeah. So many people have so many things to say about individuals. I don't see. Here's the other thing we also saw. We saw the monkey. We saw the monkey choke on his tail. He keeps going out of his way to say how, well, the B1, they need to stop being scared of white supremacy. And, if they just stood and fought white supremacy, as I had this monkey puppet on my hand, not showing my face, we going to fight white supremacy with the monkey puppet. And so everybody should have monkey puppets, and at the same time get behind my flyers that I purchased myself because I funded a movement that I have bought into and an idea that I've came up on my own. And for some reason, the rest of the B1 and all these foundational Black American grassroots individuals, they ain't buying it. Man, I thought they was real. I looked up to PBT. Why don't Professor Black Truth shout me out? Why don't Professor Black Truth endorse my stuff? I keep hitting them up and I keep sending them the inbox. Man, won't you shout me out? Man, you ain't real. You ain't about to be one. Because you ain't got a monkey puppet. Bro City said, deviousness, delusion, deception destroys the movement and the unity. And these are individuals who have, man, we need to unify. Man. Oh, they didn't get behind my thing, man. Damn PBT. Damn Jason Black. Damn Trick Machine. No, the rest of you niggas ain't over there at the New Black Media. Yeah, I mean, really? I don't know if y'all watch Snowfall. But if y'all saw the last episode of Snowfall, and y'all saw how they have Franklin Saint looking, this is kind of how like the monkey puppet is acting. Like, you was over here, you had it together for a minute. Now you're looking like Franklin Saint at the end with all of these antics. Man, I should be the leader of the B1. What does that even mean? You're a monkey first. Remember, you're a puppet first. Show your face and shut your mouth. Crying, complaining, bitch ass shit. This is killing the game. Complainy pants ass nigga. Where ain't this grown man jumping on my man? Yo, what type of dude are you that regardless of whoever supports your shit, you gonna do it regardless? What type of dude are you? Grow some nuts and shut up. Good grief. Waiting for another man to pick your thing up and run with it. That's your ball. Put it through the hoop your damn self. And then start getting out here crying and complaining on the internet about how somebody else didn't turn into your daddy. It's just shameful. Now, here's another thing that we have. We have another big problem. We got a lot of these tethers out here. And a lot of them have been making their way, infiltrating their ways into our circles. But we also have to understand we got tether-minded individuals too. But just like that old Negro Bob, Sir Sambo sauce himself. Sir Sambo sauce himself. You understand? Old Bob here. So we have to understand there's a lot of young Bobs. So all of this, but here's the move. I want y'all to understand. Now you have to act as if you're pro-black. You have to talk as if you're pro-black. But watch the actions. They're always diverting from unity to cause dissension. And we're talking in the midst of a gathering that is about unity. They give and they take away, Aquarius minded. Hashtag cut the check, black first in the house. Yes, indeed. So let's see a little bit from, let's look at some clips from this African deal. Because there's way too much going on. And we have to watch our back from all of these other groups that are trying to tear down the barriers of our lineage-based claims. And you got these other people thinking it makes more sense than to be on the wall looking at all the outside opposition. Instead, they got their back to what's outside the gate, facing inward to talk about the people inside their gates. These people are absolute enemies to empowerment. And they're enemies and nothing but destructive forces for things to go forward. And I need us to really start locking that acceptance down. Because we have been the group that, man, you know, we all in this together. I mean, man, we got to just learn how to all get along. This shit ain't never going to happen. Another thing is, every other group, there ain't no group on the planet that gets along. Stop buying into that myth. People I heard today, man, ain't no all these other groups. You don't see these people doing it. I live in one of the whitest states in America. Yes, the hell they do. Every last one of them groups fights. I used to work for the Jewish individuals, the family here. And don't you ever tell yourself that they don't fight. They don't have to fight on Front Street because they're not broke. They have means of wealth. So the elevation of the battling has elevated off of little low-level communication venues. They're battling in real estate. They're battling in equity. They're battling in family power. How many offspring can they get positioned in different positions in government and finance and in business out here? This is the game they playing. While all of these people just think, man, you ain't said it on TV, or you ain't said it on YouTube, or you ain't said it on Twitter, man, it don't exist. You ain't never done nothing. The ignorance for me. So what I'm saying is we're going to have to keep our eye on what we have to focus on. And anybody that cannot figure out this collective thing, I would strongly advise y'all to start discounting pretty much everything they say, because truth be told, either they're a paid agent or they're an agent unaware of their agent ass slow and tell pro behavior. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know if it's COINTELPRO or SLOWINTELPRO, but let's hear first from one of our old Negroes trying to send our claim over to Africa.
Families who had your loved ones stolen from you in Africa, whether you are the descendants of those people who were placed in North America or in South America, whether we talk about reparations for the human trafficking, or the reparations for enslavement, or reparations for stolen labor, or reparations for genocide, or reparations for the contemporary issues that we face. My 3 minutes is up. God bless you. Help me with this. Where can I get this? God bless you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hooey. So here's another thing. This is another issue that we also have, because it's not just about them wanting to get in our reparations. There's we see Akon. Akon's one of the main voices we see, but there's other Africans out there that are basically trying to get us to, number one, start getting in the mindset of going back to Africa to help them fight. We are not your damn security forces. But nonetheless, check this out.
Prefer to deal with dictators in Africa for as long as their neo-colonialist interests are served. Today, Total Energies of France is the biggest shareholder in an oil pipeline which runs from Uganda through Tanzania. So now we see that when Africa is in chaos, the West is in business. Brothers and sisters, we want a conflict-free Africa which speaks with one powerful voice that will increase the power of our just demands, including demands for reparations, for enslavement, and for colonialism.
They want reparations for our enslavement and then also colonialism. Those two things are not hand in hand. See, like the other dude just said, well, you know, unless you're related. See, he's doing this weird connection between how they were harmed and then our horrific Holocaust here. And somehow they are in such disarray behind what was done to us. Yeah. I mean, y'all just hating on the African immigrants. This is funded tethering. The hell are y'all talking about? Funded tethering.
I sincerely hope that our brothers and sisters in the diaspora can follow the example of Professor Daniels.
Whoa. So you pushing Ron Daniels, right? Ron Daniels, oh God. Yo. See? Lord. Lord. Really, dude?
Can actually be a dedicated Pan-African while at the same time struggling for democracy and human rights in Africa. The two actually complement each other and they speed up our goal of Pan-African unity and self-determination. Finally, brothers and sisters, I want to take this opportunity at this historical event to appeal directly to all my African-American brothers and sisters. Please, please, and please tell your governments through your elected representatives in Congress to stop sponsoring tyranny in Africa.
Where was this just a few months ago when all of these African leaders were at the White House? I mean, Kamala Harris was just out there with Amos Brown and Idris Elba and Cheryl Lee Ralph. Bunch of immigrants. Don't have anything to do with our claim. However, they do represent CARICOM and the African Union. So now are you seeing the reason why Idris Elba, an African, a UK-born African, and then a Jamaican, Cheryl Lee Ralph, you see why they were there? That's CARICOM. That's what they were there for, representing that connection. Well, so you might get some brain dead Negroes over here. Man, that was all us, man. I mean, ain't we included? No, you not. We're not included in the African Union, and we're not included in CARICOM. We're not recognized as people. So our lineage, now that we're forcing the conversation of our lineage, that also makes us a political group tied to this land. Yeah, last one left, that's not something that you were able to come up with, brother. Okay? I know it sounds nice telling your friends that the information you get from our shows and you can take it somewhere and say, well, yeah, he's stealing from me. No. Doofus and liar. Good grief. But nonetheless, Black Americans, we should be fighting for them, huh?
Please tell your American government to stop sponsoring oppression in Africa.
Don't we need to tell them to stop sponsoring oppression here in our own homeland? See, what is he talking about? He is literally saying, hey, black folks, instead of fighting for yourselves, you need to start helping fight for us over here on another continent. And why can't you fight for yourself in your homeland? Oh, it's the government.
Please tell the U.S. government through your elected Congress members to stop paying for our death.
Notice the way that he is saying, tell the U.S. through our Congress members. Don't pull up on them like you're being like y'all do for yourselves. Not to pull up some. I hope y'all catching that. He keeps going back to voting. You're in a whole different country, dude. Why are you so concerned about our legislative branches and how we get done here in our country? If the results are what you want, then you get them how we give them. But maybe there's a little more And maybe there's just something else to why he keeps referring to Congress.
The United States government currently supports the military regime of General Museveni to the tune of $1 billion every year. This is your taxpayers' money.
Yeah, $1 billion in a year, or working on toward over about 3 trillion going into Ukraine in 1 year. In any event, we still don't have our reparations. So why are you talking about money to us? We ain't got our reparations, partner. So you're going to start bringing up money and how other people are, it's your tax dollars. You know what? So is our reparations. Break us off ours. And while you in front of us, talking to us about what we should be doing for you, you ain't heard him offer nothing to Foundational Black Americans, but he wants you to get up here and do your best to stay in the political process and vote Democrat and make sure that the Democrats are staying in office. What is this dude talking about?
This is money given to a tyrant with no strings attached on the issue of democracy or human rights.
How was them Nigerians treated over there in Ukraine? What's over there in Ukraine right now? Azov Battalion. They're getting billions, working on the trillions of dollars. This dude is over here. What are you talking about, man? Has he not seen a TV recently to know what's going on in America? We're not giving a damn about your little troubles, man. You got to figure that shit out. We got our tax dollars going over to a war that technically should not be fought right now. The hell are you talking about? You got to take that shit to the EU. American, no. You're in business with Europe. You take your ass over there to them. This shit ain't got nothing to do with us. Well, your American government, yeah, that's their little side hustle. Y'all some bitches for even letting them do that. But you need better take it up with the EU. They ain't got nothing to do with us. Man, please.
You are actually paying for our operation. You are
we paying for ours.
Sponsoring it knowingly or unknowingly. And we are asking you to stop it because you have the power to stop it. You can't.
Word? You don't have the power to do it in your own homeland? You need us to fight for you from our homeland because you're not fighting for yourself in yours. Spoken like a person who is ready to flee.
I believe that if you reach out to your elected representatives and make this demand, you can help us change things.
Again, reach out to your elected. See, the reason he keeps going there is because we already know that they got money. So now he's trying to get y'all cool with this notion of money going over to Africa from our government because we're going to go get them the money. These people are the most notoriously shady, shiesty grifters ever. But you can't be calling them that. That ain't right. Stop it. Stop it. Faith Speaks Life has become a member. Welcome. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you, Faith Speaks. Welcome as one of our B1 Warrior members. Shout out to you. All right. So, Lord, these folks here, man, it is something else, ain't it? And people, we're talking crazy to say we not rocking with this. His whole spiel is to us to fight for them in their homeland. Not to mention Fight for them to get resources. Wow.
On behalf of the people of Uganda, those that are living and those that are dead, on behalf of the women and the young children of Uganda, on behalf of my brothers and sisters that are missing, on behalf of the people of Uganda that are languishing in prison with no trial, no charge, and no crime whatsoever, we are asking you to please help us in our struggle for freedom and democracy so that we can also be useful in the bigger struggle for liberating and unifying Africa. Thank you very much.
Damn. So again, we need y'all strength, y'all fight, and all of y'all muscle to help us fight on a continent that you don't live in. Can you now also see what stake they have in us looking at ourselves as African? Is it playing into y'all's psyche yet? Because, see, this is, hey, we need y'all to come because we need you to help the continent of Africa. Wait, buddy. Hold on. Help the continent of Africa? Why are we not helping the continent or the country of America for foundational Black Americans? We have a lineage that needs to be repaired here. Hey, always look at a person as trying to get you off of what you're doing as an enemy. So here we go again. Here's the unity idea, right? What is he doing as we are focusing on us? What is he in the podium champion? Take a detour from our own agenda to go fight for him, for his people in his homeland that's not fighting for themselves. The hell is wrong with these people? And the Black folks that you brain dumb, deaf and blind Negroes that can't see, man, this is a man. I mean, come on now. We just got to understand we all from Africa. Anybody that knows me knows I haven't claimed that. I don't claim that. Being from Africa at some point in time, I guess, yes. Everybody came from that landmass. But you also would have to accept the fact that some people would say that you could call North Africa more than Egypt. That actually could probably be Central Kemet. So if you're now looking at the region differently, then yes. But for the continental, what you see as Africa today, some of us still might not even have came from there. But golly, boy, these people, boy, I guess it's just easy to say shit, I guess. It's just so easy. Well, you know, this must be how it is. How though? There it is. I wanted to play that again. So where is this at? Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, we got to get into these other tethery. Where's, let me see. If you know, you know. Ham seed play games just like the white ones. You better know it. You better know it. Ham and Esau, boy, they ain't two peas in a pod. Two peas in a pod. So, wait, I'm gonna put this over here because I'm gonna go through these videos in succession, just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. Because you have a Caribbean CARICOM thing. You got John Leguizamo over here basically doing the whole hey, we're the oldest group in America. We fought in all the wars in America, us Latinos and Hispanics. No, you weren't, because you weren't even here. In the Revolutionary War? How the hell could you be fighting in the Revolutionary War? Hispanic. Stop. And then, he's a whole Colombian at that. So you're not even Puerto Rican. Like, you need to be quiet. But let's just look at what's going on. Because remember, this dude keeps talking about our elected officials, our elected officials, our elected officials. This is one of our elected officials.
This country needs immigrants to survive. Immigrants pick the food we eat, rebuild our communities after climate disasters, help construct our infrastructure, power our small business economy, clean our homes, and look after the most precious in our families, our children and our elders.
There's more.
But for the first time in history, Title V would make overstaying a visa a crime. The addition of a criminal penalty is both cruel and unnecessary.
We're talking about some things that you already agree with in 2013. In 2013, at a Judiciary Committee hearing, she said, quote, "America's borders will only be secure when we address not only those who walked through the desert to come here, but also those who arrived in this country through our front door." Those were her words, which
the gentleman yield?
what she's saying today.
I was a ranking member on the Immigration Subcommittee at that, as I recall, and I stand by those words, but be reminded that I did not then add, and we should criminalize the overstays.
The gentlelady can't have it both ways. Her exact words, and we agree with them. A small handful of those who overstay their visas may also pose a threat, as I mentioned earlier, as it relates to the 9/11 hijackers. There are about 500,000 people who break our immigration laws by overstaying their visas. The gentlelady was right then. She's wrong now. This bill corrects the problem that she correctly identified so long ago. Better late than never. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. We never forget your words, Ms. Jackson-Lee.
And now she's making a run for Houston. She's making a run for Houston. Okay? Now, something before I play this next video. I want y'all to just look at this. Who has seen the movie Us? Where the concept of tether comes from. There's something that is significant about that movie. Something is going on at the same time that the tethers are looking to plan to come to the surface. Anybody remember what that was? So y'all see like where this is going. I mean, if y'all saw us, they'd like doing a reenactment or the old Pepsi commercial. Kind of interesting. Interesting timing. Yeah, hold on. The 9/11 hijackers were, yeah. Yes, indeed. They were products of the United States government and trained by them. Cynthia Newman, welcome, welcome. So, I believe this is it. Let's hear what some of these Afro-Latinos are starting to say now. Because we see what John Leguizamo is trying to do. Let's see the other play, though.
I think that one of the things we need to be thinking about is even among those who say, well, I'd rather pick Hispanic in an area or Latino, in addition to thinking about like how to move quickly, we also need to think about to what extent are those individuals part of communities that have always said that versus those that are just saying that. I mean, let's be really honest, being white isn't nearly as popular as it was 30 years ago. Right now, we're in a moment where it's not cool to say it. And there was a point when Latinos did not want to be racialized as anything other than white, generally speaking, especially in certain parts of the country. And so where's that shift coming from? And it's important to understand that, because if we don't understand that, then we can just say, oh, well, this is what everybody wants, but we may be speaking about very different communities.
Okay, really? Okay, okay. Sure. Okay, so now what's the difference now? I mean, it's not popular to be. So what she is saying is she wants, and like you're seeing a lot of these Afro-Latinos do, they want the freedom to jump between designations when it fits them best. So now let's identify as Black. Because see, Black folks are moving with this reparations agenda. And so, I mean, we ain't no longer wanting to check the white box. I mean, we got to acknowledge our Afro-Latino side. I mean, so many slaves also came from Africa too, to the Caribbean and the South Americas. I mean, so we are also Black. Just notice. And so again, here's another. Check this out.
Dominicans are very proud from where they come from. Doesn't mean they're anti-Black. We're Black. We know it. Promise you. Have you been to our country? Most of y'all haven't. Y'all really need to go out there too, so you guys could really peep how everything is. Race is an American thing. Dominicans don't know what race is, okay? America has always divided everybody into groups. Dominicans don't know how to do that. We see each other as one.
Yes.
A lot of the misunderstanding comes from the lack of education in the country. And y'all really can't blame them for that. Like, they don't know how to identify themselves, because the average Dominican kid drops out at 9 years old to go work. Do your research about our culture, because Dominican culture, 90% of it comes from Africa, and we know it. We're still celebrating it and embracing our ancestors and what they taught us. We're representing them. It's in us. And I'm about to show you guys how real quick.
See the light ones around, or do you only see the dark ones?
And I'm not sitting here denying that there's no colorism in the country, because there is. But that comes from European people and a whack-ass dictator that we used to have.
Wasn't there before.
And even though the Europeans tried really hard to make Afro-Dominicans forget their customs, force them to learn Spanish, which is not our fault, convert them to Catholicism, a lot of what our other ancestors taught us will never be forgotten. It's in us. You know what I'm saying? So next time y'all know that Dominicans don't mean that in any disrespectful way. We're not denying anything at all. It's just in our country, We just see each other as that, Dominican, no matter what you come from, your skin tone, none of that, you feel me? And remember, we're talking about people that live in a third world country. Most of y'all don't really know what that is. No.
Cap, cap, and more cap. No, ma'am. You're not going to do that. And for all of these, especially these passport bros, there's a lot of tricks out there that would like to beg to differ. And for the Dominican Republic, there's very much colorism going on there too. The hell are you talking about? We don't know each other, but the neighboring island is Haiti. I mean, I'm sorry. The other side, the neighboring country on the other side of the same island is Haiti. But no, I don't know anything about I'm not too, I don't know. We don't consider ourselves black. Then why is it an issue for you now? See, here's the thing. All of a sudden you want to identify as black. Well, because we're Afro-Latin. Okay, well then you're African. Be African. Right? How now are you talking about black? They do the Haitians dirty over there. Yeah, they deport the Haitians lickety split. You out of, they gonna send you right back over the border. So I mean, she's coming over here with the super cap. Oh, you guys don't know? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Very much colorism going on. Well, yeah, I mean, not to say that there's not colorism. Colorism stems from racism. And the reason why you have colorism is based out and rooted in anti-blackness. So the whole that there's no racism in or anti-blackness because we don't say we're not black, well then don't come over here and start identifying as black now, sweetheart. Well, you can't blame them for not knowing. What do you put on your paperwork? So let's not let these folks come over here with this trash and garbage. Like, we didn't know how we didn't know about all of the racism and the colorism in America. See, that's the white Europeans here. I mean, man, we all got bamboozled by the white man. And I mean, see, the white man came over here and bamboozled us. It was all the white man. Now, all of a sudden, they conveniently blaming Europeans and white folks. See, that's why we look at you different. See, and see how we see blacks in America. I mean, man, you just got to realize it's the white government and the Europeans that have told us, and we get sent bad messages about you. And so we don't really know who you are. We come here with these notes. You can't really blame us. Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, this type of notion and move, it's becoming an epidemic, and it's not just solely based in the Caribbean, nor solely based in South America, but also the motherland.
Not know of white color or black color. We were Africans. But the missionaries came in and they told us about Christianity. They told us about Jesus Christ. They told us about the angels who were white and the devil who was black. Then they turn around and say, the angels are desirable. They do the wonderful things. We must aspire to be like them. And they said, oh, by the way, we may not look like this white sheet of paper. Besides, remember, they introduced the color white and the color black. We didn't have that. So we know how black looks like. We know how white looks like. But they turn around and say, the angels are white and we are white too. Never mind how we look. We may not look like this piece of paper, but believe we are white. And we represent the angels. And you're black. You may not look like this cover of my phone, which is black. But you represent the devil. The devil is black. The devil is evil. We all must run away from the devil. You don't want to represent the devil. Oh, by the way, You may not look like this black piece of paper, but you're black too. Then now let's go to church. And we kneel down in front of the white angels, in front of white Jesus, who we know very well Jesus Christ was not white. Even their own Bible tells us he had crimson skin. We know for a fact that when Mary and Joseph were running away from King Herod, they were told to go to Egypt. Why? Because in Egypt, Jesus Christ would blend with those who looked more like him. If he was white, they would have told them to run to Europe. So we have all these obvious lies that we have been told. So for centuries, we have knelt and worshipped white Jesus and white angels and denied that which they told us represented us. So they systematically put us through a process of self-hate. It is not by surprise that we hate ourselves. We don't like each other. We don't trust each other. Understand that this has been a systematic process of criminalizing blackness, of teaching us and training us to hate everything that looks like us, and educating that the more we look closer to what white people do, the better.
What do y'all think about that? We're hearing from a couple of people. Yeah, how about you tell your folks to reject that slave manual in church? You know, yeah, Kid Gravity, it's funny. See, notice that she is saying the same thing that that Dominican woman just got done saying. It's the Europeans that brought the Christianity and the Catholicism, and see, this the Europeans and the white folks, they got us in this condition, and see, it's not our fault that we have not identified as black, and see, it's not really out. We just saw African, and we just saw Dominican, and we are you realizing that they are literally saying the exact same excuse? One is the Jollof edition. The other is the beans, the Spanish rice edition. We got the Jollof and the Spanish rice edition. They're giving you a little good twist there, but they're both saying the same thing. Now all of a sudden, you know, it's not that we weren't purposely not identifying as black. We just never knew that we were black. Here's the color, and it's like, oh, here's a black piece of paper, and in the black piece of paper, it says that, oh yes, and this is white, and but he doesn't look like us, but this is black, and this is you, and the devil is black. When has they said the devil was black? They've always made the devil this red man. So all of a sudden the devil was black. We don't see the devil as black here. That's not what we see. So that's another interesting thing. Now, yes, the definition is it's a little overboard for my taste. What do y'all think? I would say that's just a little bit overboard. But I could be wrong. What do y'all think, though? So this, let me see, what do I need to do? Oh, for those of you who are not here at the beginning of this broadcast, let me show you how we brought this broadcast in. We brought it in with this particular clip.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Samuel Logan said, if they believe that the devil is black, then they can't be redeemed, as they couldn't defeat the devil as a devil. Great point. Great point. I mean, Lord, it's insane. Insane. Let me see. I got this other joint here. Okay. There we go. I knew I did. Get those two in here. Now, there's a flip side as well. See, we get hit at all sides. So, yeah, as we get these in here. Just waiting for these videos to load up. Okay. So, and I believe you guys can catch Kid Gravity do a more in-depth video on this guy in the morning. So y'all go check out my brother, Kid Gravity Beyond. Go check out his channel because he is going to be doing a piece on this cat in the morning. So I guess just in the meantime, a preview of what he'll be talking about tomorrow is another disrespectful tether that thinks he has an idea for us.
If you want reparations, I'm fully okay with funding your reparations. I think this would be great. This would be a great reparations. Reparations would be a one-way ticket. You're banned from the country. You cannot come back. Don't try to say you're going to take this ticket and make a vacation and come back. I will put whatever donation I can to have you take a one-way ticket to whatever the hell else country you want to go to and you never come back. That's the reparations I can give you. If this country is so bad, we've got it solved. I think I've solved reparations, everybody. Let them know. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Sheila Lee, AOC, Ayanna Pressley, Katie Porter. Somebody wake up Dianne Feinstein. Nancy P. Wake her up too and tell her to put down the bottle. I solved reparations. You get a one-way boat ticket, taxi. You get a one-way Uber. You get a one-way plane ticket, boat ticket to get the hell up out of here and never come back. And this country would be so much better off for it.
Coming from a person who has no lineage tied to this land. See, you know how that type of line comes out of a coon's mouth like that is because he can be deported. We can't. So here, I'm going to give you a one-way ticket to where? We built this country, the one you fled to. Where would we be going? And where's this notion coming from that we get reparations, we're going to Africa? Have y'all been hearing that notion come out a lot too? No. No, this country is as much ours as it is yours. And for you immigrants, you can go get your ass back to your homeland if you want to. But before you start popping off to, we are going to leave the land that we are tied to, that makes no sense. If our debt is from this land, what sense does it make to get paid the debt we're owed and then look to leave and give that money to another country that is not doing as great as the country we built? What sense does that make? And that's not saying that America is such a bad country. We know that it's not because we built it. That's why your family fled here, to make sure you had a better life. Not in the third world country, but here in America that slaves built with the free labor. That part. So, just another dirtbag with his mouth open that he actually shouldn't. And then here's another clip that somebody has shot me, and I just want to take a quick look at this.
So I'm going to say something that's very controversial right now. The Democratic Party has no plans to pay reparations. Now, if you're conservative, just move out of this conversation. Does this just, you already have your stance on it. Everybody knows what your stance is, right? You don't need to even speak on this subject. But it's so important for the Black community to understand and know that the Democratic Party has no intentions, never had intentions of paying reparations. This has been a carrot that has been stringing along the entire time. You have to understand they're siphoning energy from you. They need you to be angry. They need you not to heal. They need you not to do better. They need you to continue to be upset. Why? Because they can weaponize you. They can weaponize you against the culture. They can weaponize you against America. They can weaponize you against society. But look how much they care about you. They care about you so much that your own supposedly Black vice president goes to Africa. Was she advocating for you, Black America? Was she building a bridge so that you guys can now have a relationship? The African American community here can be representatives of America in Africa and build a bridge to do that and bring some kind of healing and restoration considering the past of America. Is that what she did? No. Guess who she went there? Who was she speaking about? The LGBTQ agenda. Does that make sense to you, Black America? I need you to understand that the Democratic Party has no intentions of ever helping Black America. And if I am wrong, prove me wrong by getting your help. Don't let them leave that office without helping you.
Oh, Lord, where do they find these folks? Where do they find these people? Yeah, it's the Democrats. See, that's one of those false lines, too. And real quick question.
Where's your family from?
Because that just didn't make sense. And, before people start getting too far into what's what, just always remember that Homestead Act was this: free soil. They gave people's land away. This is what took place here. It's so funny how people they just can't seem to understand that part. It's like, well, I don't know how. Because to me, when you see things like this, free speech, free soil, free speech, free labor, and free men, that don't mean us. That damn sure doesn't mean us. And again, we have all of these people trying to pull a little tether smokescreen over on us, and then don't want us to say anything about it. That's the big problem. When you say something about, oh man, you guys hate African immigrants. And why do you hate African immigrants so bad? I just don't understand why you hate African immigrants. I gotta center myself in everything you guys do because, you guys hate African immigrants. Now that cornball jive. We don't hate no Black immigrants because nobody's giving a crap about you. Look at how immigration helped us. Because this Homestead Act is one of the first things about immigration in this country. So, this tore our asses off. This wasn't no benefit to us. So when you're looking at foundational Black Americans looking at immigration, hell, we don't have a good history with that here. So, and then you got these ungrateful bastards like that dude I just played to have the nerve talking about, well, this is where y'all could go. No, you could take your punk ass back down to where you came from, partner. You got these people, the nerve of these people to come to someone else's homeland and tell them, yeah, I got a plan. You can leave this country. What? Leave your mama's country, nigga. You can get your bitch ass up out of here. And hey, we already know dudes that talk like that, they ain't busting a grape in a fruit fight. So we have to keep again, that unity shit is underrated, overrated, and played out and dead. Work with what you got, work with the people you got, because these people right here are only working to get our shit. They ain't working for their own, they working for ours. And when we're saying we want to delineate, that jam woman is what set off their antennas is all those set-asides that they get and the enclave funding that they get. Oh, that would be going away. Let's just listen to some more folks and just hear how they're talking.
I think there's a lot to do still with the Hispanic community. We need to educate ourselves about the Black history in all America, not only in the United States but in our countries as well. I think racism is part of the upbringing in the Hispanic families. It is there. The phrases that the grandmas and las tias, everybody repeats about the hair, as you said, the tone of the skin color. They are well present in our lives, and they are well present in our families here in the United States as well. So we need to start working with our elder people, with our parents, and start educating them as well as the young generations. Kids are not cruel. I don't like when people call kids cruel because they discriminate. They are repeating what other ones in the household or in their house, the parents who are the principal source of information for the kids, they are just repeating what they listen to. So when you call a kid cruel, you are calling yourself cruel because they are learning from you. But I think we need to educate ourselves, to learn a little bit more about the fight for civil rights in the United States, and acknowledge that fight benefit the Hispanic and the immigrant community well. That without the fight for the civil rights in the 60s, immigrants wouldn't be able to send their kids to a public school, or they could ride a public bus, or to go to a public park. So we need to start, working to eradicate it from our families. It is not normal because la abuelita lo dice. It's not normal. We need to start normalizing those microaggressions and educating, our parents and grandparents and our kids too.
Now all of a sudden they're concerned about knowing our history. Well, when you guys got people out there like American Cholo and Bucci Bear and other individuals out there like that that's just consistently trying to undermine what we're talking about for clout of their own, of course. And then for the other people, they're just anti-Black. Well, when you got that going on and ain't nobody doing nothing, well, kind of is what it is. Because see, this is the thing. They're feeling left behind because there is no unity. And we're, what has always been said about Black folks? Black people can't get along. There's always all this infighting and blah, blah, blah. The Black people can't get along. Black people can't get along. Well, Black people can't get along, true indeed. However, some of us, when we get into these groups that we are coming together for a common cause, oh man, we can change the world. So when we're in these situations, changing the world as such, we're going to have people trying to come in and undermine with the COINTELPRO thing. And we need to just sit up there and make sure we call that behavior out. Because we need to make sure, and you're holding a space, don't let somebody just rant about another individual. We're combating ideas and agendas. We don't have any time for individual feuding. They are looking at us as a whole. And when the government is looking at Black folks as a lineage based tied to this land as a political force, there is going to be everything thing thrown at us to get us off of that focus, because you can't stop us from taking our political power that way. What you can do, though, is distract Negroes on some minute bullshit. And that's what we see an awful lot every time you're trying to talk about unity. There is some Negro coming around there making it about something else. Not about unity, of course, about something else, because they gotta get it off their chest and we gotta call this out and we gotta call this. You have a whole bunch of people that have never solved a conflict nor knows what solving a conflict and getting past the conflict and working forward in the midst and aftermath of a conflict is. But they're always telling you what you should be doing. They have never went through the process of absolving a conflict. They only know how to keep them going. That's how you know. For the people that you see that dead arguments, they will dead an argument. For the other people who just gotta keep it going, and I gotta talk about this individual, I gotta say something about this person, trust me, that's a person that doesn't have much else to do other than talk about people. Circular infighting. Samuel Logan, that is all that is. Circular infighting. And why? Because it keeps you from being focused on reparations. Hope y'all understand that. I'm going to play this one last video real quick before I get out of here.
So yes, the diaspora are an important component of Africa's development. Make no mistake about that. All the African leaders are fully aware of that. All the African leaders are in full support of coming up with programs to make it easier for the diaspora to move back. We want to look at diaspora who can come to Africa, not just focus on a country that you were born in, but if you are a person of African descent, Africa should matter to you. Africa should be your problem. You must own Africa's problems, understand it, and participate in the development of Africa. For when we have a stable Africa, it now also correlates with an African American who is anchored. It correlates with an Afro-Caribbean who is anchored. It correlates with an Afro-Latino who is anchored. Currently, descendants of the formerly enslaved, they are like a ship without an anchor. The wind blows that way, here they go. Until they are anchored by being accepted by Africa, until they are anchored by participating in the development of Africa. The Jews do it, the Chinese do it, the Indians do it, the Irish do it, African Americans together with the continental Africans. We must make sure that we work together to participate in the development of Africa, because the development and the building of the Africa we want, it is our responsibility first and foremost, and ours alone. Others are welcome to come join us. Others are welcome to help us. Others are welcome to engage us as equal partners, but we must own the building of the Africa that we want as a united front of the African diaspora.
Well, I want
So that notion right there is, again, the exact same talking points that you keep hearing. Akon pushing the exact same thing. You heard the dude over there at the African conference that they're having. You know, they're going to keep pushing this line that we need to fight Africa's battles because we need. Did you hear what that woman said? We need to own Africa's troubles. What in the hell are you talking about, woman? No, the hell we do not. And you guys haven't held your own troubles. What are you talking about? You see what these people are selling you? All of this they throwing a kitchen sink at you. Don't focus on your lineage-based reparations. Don't focus on your own claim. Don't focus on your own justice. Focus on us. Stop focusing on yourselves over there. I mean, because even if you guys are based and you're looking at yourself being based out of that landmass, did you catch that? foundational Black Americans. So she's still saying, hey, you foundational Black Americans, you need to own the diaspora issues of Africa. No, we don't. And that's not how you address us. Understand. The underlining arrogance on how people see us over here always shows through. So even in a petition, so-called, she still comes off condescending toward foundational Black Americans. They always do. And how is it so? Because you always hear them make some kind of low-key diss against how we put our claim in this soil. And she did the same exact thing. No different. So, yeah, you're going to have to hold your own nuts on that, lady. And all of this, and the other dude out there, yeah, you guys need to come out here. No, we don't. Stop trying to put everybody else's issue. That's a whole damn continent, family. Hey, foundational Black Americans, put this on your back. You need to go to your elected officials. Your elected officials. Your elected officials. Did you see how they was kept doing that? And shout out to Marcus Madison for the Happy New Black Media Appreciation Month donation. I appreciate that on the Cash App. Shout out to you. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours. So yeah, family, they're trying to really get us off of our focus. They want us to just blindly focus on everybody else's issues, because now that we have shown our laser focus and our energy and our efforts towards our cause, they are seeing, oh, damn, y'all are getting stuff done. Racist ass anti-Black Dr. Phil has to get up here and choke down a conversation about reparations. Although he kept trying to cut Sandy Darity off. But so y'all understand, he wasn't no neutral dude. And all those people that were up there with Dr. Phil were purposely picked to muck up the conversation. So always remember, we have opposition at every freaking turn. We have no friends. So if anybody thinks that we need to be worrying about hey man, what's going on in your state and what's going on in this? You got a whole Pan-African Council that not only wants us not to mind our own state, they don't even want us to mind our own country or mind our own claim and owe debt. So when you talking about, well, hey, what you doing?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Because at the end of the day, what I'm doing should be irrelevant to what you're doing, because you're doing what you're supposed to do. And when we're all moving in alignment like that, then, we ain't going to have no issues. But I would have to say to the sister, enough is enough, whatever the hell you go by or whatever. And then last one left, this one's for both of you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Y'all understand, right? We have to do it. Yeah, we can sing that damn song out loud. That song will get infectious. It'll get in your mind, boy. It'll be like, hey, you gotta get up off of that cocaine. Get up off of that crack. Get yourself together. Get your mind back. So many folks out there that really need to do that. And so, again, family, we are in a situation where unity is not really the idea. Uniformity is more the call. Can we move in a uniformed order? That means being able to know and read the room and understand in a time of conversation about ideas. We're not going to get on stage and immediately start blind ranting on individuals because this is the time that I wanted to get my shit off. It's about the people. It's about the movement. It is not about the individuals. It's not about recognition. Recognition is good. Everybody wants to get recognized for what they do. But even when you don't, if that's what you're doing it for, then you should quit. People like myself, even though I don't get recognized for a lot of the things I do and a lot of the things that I've even initiated or created or been part of, the point is, something I learned a long time ago, especially with our folks. Sometimes personalities, you guys don't like people. And so certain things just have to be done without you knowing who's doing it for it to be effective. Because unfortunately, our people are the mechanics of us, and a lot of times are just made that way. So, again, that's understanding that how your people are and how to actually help your people and not be in the way of progress, although they may have issues with you. How many of y'all's skin is that thick? That is what this business is about. And I don't know how many people that have their mouth open is really ready for that. Are you ready to have your phones tapped? Are you ready to be surveilled? Are you ready to be on a watch list? Are these things that you are ready to do? I mean, because those of us who've already been there, done that, we're telling you, this is old news. So it's just things that come with the territory. And I see people walking into things. It's like, you are so not ready. You are so not ready. You haven't had the government fool with you. You don't know what that's about yet. I'm going to need y'all to really, hey man, maybe you guys could just fly under the radar. Maybe that'll work. But there's a lot of people that might have a harsh reality coming. And then the other harsh reality coming is that nobody gave a damn about even messing with you. So there is that. So with that being said, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you would want to put something on this broadcast platform to help this channel, we greatly appreciate all the contributions that come into this particular medium. And you can do so by way of donation at CashApp $beatzillapdx. That is CashApp $beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Muzak. That is ZillaMuzak at PayPal. So, we got to keep an eye on these folks. And I would strongly suggest we abandon this idea of wide-scale unity. I don't see it happening. And as things have happened in the past, I don't even know if it is the wisest notion to even marry yourself to. Marry yourself to the small few that are dedicated and are fearless. That's who you want to ride with. You got the big numbers that will make you feel comfortable. But that small 100, 200, 300 that can shake the walls of Jericho, this is the type of crew that I want to be around. I want to be involved with those like-minded individuals. I'm not concerned about the rest. The rest will benefit from what the 300 can get accomplished. But I would rather be among the 300 because My heart does not pump that level of fear. You understand what I'm saying, family? So for those who are B1 warriors, shout out to all of you, and shout out to all of the people who have given the super chats, or if you're looking, or super thanks on the replay. And then, of course, the Cash Apps. Shout out to y'all. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on all of you and yours. So y'all have a blessed weekend. Y'all stay safe, stay vigilant, stay black, and stay alive. Here we always keep our 3 smooth stones at the ready, so we can be ready to combat the wicked, wicked, wicked lion enemy with the stone of truth. You understand what we talking about? Stone of truth. You got to be ready to throw it, and you got to be ready to do this work in season and out of season. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Study to show yourself approved at that. In this here reparations movement, can you dig it? Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yeah. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are, on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.
Thank you.